Good afternoon and welcome to the IceHQ Ice Rink in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia on Warranjoy, Woiwurrung traditional land for the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League round 10. Melbourne Ducks versus Brisbane Lightning, game 1 of 2 here at IceHQ. I'm Carl Brewer and joining me once again this afternoon is Anton Goss. And Gossy, we're very privileged here to be part of the show and we're very proud to be able to bring it to you out there in AW land in particular. Those of you watching from Brisbane, we hope you enjoy the show and have a good display from your team. Gossy, what are you expecting to see this afternoon?
Well, we've got the last chance in front of the home fans for the Ducks, and you know it's a long time since we've seen a point. You have to go all the way back to the third game of the season, but that was a battle back against the Adelaide, against an Adelaide team that had come through, and I think Melbourne, after a big battle last week against Sirens, are ready to go and have some battle here against the Brisbane
absolutely.
Lightning.
And last time these two teams played as well, they weren't the results that the Ducks have seen way too many of this season with big blowouts. The two times the Brisbane team played against the Ducks up in Brisbane was 4-2 wins on both occasions, so quite close games. So that's a good sign for the Ducks and also hopefully for the Lightning getting a decent workout to play against. So last weekend it was a mixed weekend for the Ducks up against the Sirens. They lost 7-3. And then on the Sunday, they played a much better game, but still didn't manage to get a point, going down just 3-2. But Gossy, I want to talk to you briefly about an issue that the Ducks have had all season. And if you look at it, it's their power play. Now, if you look at the Ducks, if you think about hockey as a game of you don't want to give away easy goals, and this is absolutely the case. If you look at the Ducks' power play on the surface, it actually looks pretty good. They've got a power play percentage of 19.7. Roughly every 4 power plays, they're getting a goal. That's pretty good. That's the third best in the league, or at least it was this morning before the games, and they may well have changed. But there's something else happening as well, Gossy. What's going on in the power play defensively? They're giving away a lot of short-handed goals, and their short-handed goals against the power play is currently 16%. They've given away 10 shorties. The next worst is the Melbourne Ice, and they've given away 5% and they've given away 3 shorties. So 10 short-handed goals. And as a player, I can tell you, if you haven't played the game before, especially at this level, it's very much a case of you need to find that extra couple of percent in yourself when you get on the ice. You've got to have that full commitment. You've got to be able to go hard. And nothing knocks the wind out of your sails more than giving away a shorty. Gossy, what have they got to do?
Yeah, look, I mean, not to take away from the success of the power play, and I mean, arguably they just got to score before the other team does, right?
Well, you can make that point.
But I think, if you look at it, right, you talk about that confidence, it's very easy. The Ducks have done a really good job of moving the puck around in the offensive zone, and they aim to get it back to the point. They try to use their shots. Grekovic at the back, their leading goal scorer there on the power play, one of their leading goal scorers. Well, but the thing you have to remember is if you're pinching in and you got that umbrella shape going on, you gotta get ready to get back on your horse and really get back and stop some of those odd man rushes, because each of the goals that we've been seeing, the ones rushes. Here at IceHQ, have been those ones on the rush where it's not just a breakaway, it's a 2-on-1 or a 2-on-0 even. So that's really just what they got to focus on. Look at the floater, see what those players are going, and remember that you still have that defensive responsibility.
There's a saying in a lot of sports that if you're a one-trick pony, that's okay, as long as it's a really good trick. And the trick that the Ducks have been using on their power play has been very much play it back up to Kukovic on the blue line, who fires in, and she's got a mighty shot on her. It's a hell of a cannon. But it's a little bit random at times, and if she doesn't get it away cleanly, and there's an interception, and certainly the Melbourne Ice have taken advantage of that on a number of occasions, if it cannons into someone's pads and bounces away, there's been no one back for the Ducks defending that shot, and they've just been letting it go. So you're right, Gossie, it comes down to defensive responsibility on the power play. I've always kind of thought of the power play in a somewhat unconventional way, but you always want to look at a power play as being 2 minutes when there's no way you're going to get scored against, and if you get a goal, that's a bonus. I don't know that's an unconventional way of thinking about it, but if you actually want to win games of hockey, it's pretty good. And we'd like to obviously see the Ducks get a couple of points there, or certainly over the weekend. That'd be tremendously good for them. So they have to remember, your power play is not about scoring goals. It's about making sure that you come out at the end of it ahead of the other team in some context. Now, if you can score a goal, obviously that's great. But you certainly don't want to give shorties away. That's disastrous. And it just kills the confidence of the team when it happens. And this is a team that, if nothing else, they need confidence. When they play with a bit of confidence, they're great. And they've shown throughout the season, when they've got some confidence, they've been effective, they've worked well, they've combined well, and they've been equal to the task. It's when they've dropped their heads, when they've let a couple of goals go and they've collapsed, that's when the blowouts have happened. So they've got to stop that from happening.
I mean, and I don't disagree with most of what you say, but to play a little bit of devil's advocate, I mean, I think most coaches struggle most on how to score on the power play. And you talk about the effect of getting a goal against.
And with all due respect, they're all wrong.
Yeah, and you talk about the effect of getting a goal against, but another thing that takes the wind out of your sails is you get multiple power play opportunities. The other team is just icing it down, you're skating back, you're exhausting your time. So I think if you look at it from the beginning of the season, as they've built in this first season in the AWIHL, they've gotten better and better at moving the puck and playing with confidence with the player advantage.
Absolutely.
It's just fixing a couple of those things on the back end that's going to help reduce those shorthanded
Something
goals.
else I want to talk about too, and that's the Brisbane Lightning. Of course, those of you tuning in from Brisbane, we're going to blow a little bit of smoke up them. They've been superb this season. They're third on the ladder, just 1 point behind the Mice, as I'm not sure what's happened today, but they're looking to get points towards the finish. Their power play, 14.5%, about 80% on the kill. They've got a pretty good penalty kill, but specialty teams are not really their big strength. But what they are is they are deep. They're a very, very deep team. They've got 14 of their players have scored a goal this season. That makes them very, very hard to defend against. It's not just a couple of superstars. It's not just a couple of imports doing all the damage. They score all the way through the entire team, and that's a superb credit to their organisation. We're just going to have the anthem. Gossie, as I was just saying about the Brisbane team, it's an absolute credit to their structure and their organisation and their coaching that they score so deeply. That said, they do have some players who have been very effective. Anna-Marie Fitzgerald, 17 goals so far this season, and Lindsay Clinic with 10. And they've also got a new player too, haven't they? You were telling me earlier about Emma Wuthrick.
Yeah, Wuthrick, she 6 games so far this season, 20 points. So, you
phenomenal.
extrapolate that over a 16-game season, much higher than it would be the leading goal scorer. You look at this Brisbane team, the Ducks are going to be up against it. Before splitting last week with Perth, they had doubled up on the Melbourne Ice, they had doubled up on the Sydney Sirens. So they're playing with a lot of power, winning 5 of their last 6 games. And the Melbourne Ducks over here looking for that elusive first win. They've got 2 more rounds to do it, 4 games. I know that after seeing the growth and seeing the effort that they put in on Sunday, they believe they can get a result against this Brisbane team. It's the battle between pride on one side and standings on the other, and the old-fashioned trap game if you're the Brisbane Lightning.
It is absolutely the case that every dog will have its day. And what the Ducks need today in order to be competitive, we've seen some great play from Brian Johnson throughout the season, and also a new player who started fairly recently, Colette Morgan's been superb for them as well. We also want to see their imports performing particularly well. We know that Nelson can score well, and Hollier, and of course Krakovic with the cannon. But what they really need is they need their second and third line D to really step up and own the slot. They've got to be more fierce. They've been guilty of being a little bit soft and giving away easy puck possession in the slot in the zone. And players like, for example, Gallagher and Stringer, they really have to step up today and be a force in defence. If they can do that, they're a chance.
Robbie Love just dropped the puck, and we're underway here in the first game of the last homestand here for the Melbourne Ducks. And the puck sent right in front of the Lightning bench, and player takes a tumble there as she runs into Mendham. Behind the net is Grakovic now. 7 goals so far in the season, second on team leading for the Melbourne Ducks. Puck squirts out and it's chipped forward just off the stick of Nelson, who is leading the team with 9 goals. Comes over to Brown for the Lightning. She'll just regroup, take it through the neutral zone, chip it forward right onto the stick of Rama. She goes over to Grakovic, just fans on that puck. It might work out though for Nelson. She's pinned on, it's picked up here by Woolrich. In, first period, nice pass over, and it just handcuffed Fitzgerald as the Lightning were looking to strike first.
Good chance there for Fitzgerald, just been given that space in the slot.
Goonan deflected that one on, a nice push over by Gargano on the rebound. It comes out front, and they score! The Brisbane Lightning strike first through Kilowinik.
And that was good play there from Clinic in the slot, getting that space, time, an opportunity to get a shot away against in the net there for the Ducks today is Olivia Gargano. Gargano, not recently long back from the Under-18 World Championships, where she was superb, and she's been great here for the Ducks. But in that particular occasion, she made the first few saves, but if you don't own the slot, they're going to put sustained pressure on you, Brisbane, and they certainly did and scored from it.
So with that goal, the Brisbane Lightning forward, Lindsay Clinic, gets her 11th of the season, and the Ducks are down a hole early. Puck's here on the stick of the Lightning. They chip it up over to Woolrich. She goes across over to the captain. Takes it in, just dumps it behind the net. First to it will be Stringer for the Ducks. Puck's on the wall. That was Cashin not able to get it out. Stringer gloves it down again, chips it forward. Not be able to kept in there by Rapchik.
The Ducks playing Caitlin Hollier in forward today as opposed to her usual defensive role, and she's going to get a penalty.
Yeah, it was a collision there just at the center ice line, and it was Hollier bumping into Crompton, and the Ducks now will go to the penalty.
Hollier wearing an unusual jersey for her. Unfortunately, she left her normal jersey at home, which is why she's currently wearing number 5, which I know she was a little bit cranky about earlier. She'll need to get that under control. But yeah, the first power play now going to the Lightning. Can they pile on some shots? They're D pinching right in and very confidently.
So starting here is Fisher. She lost that face-off, but picked up by the corner by Mahoney. We did get to see Mahoney here in the Pro Women's League a couple seasons ago. It comes back over to Costa as Brisbane set up here on the power play. Puck sent down into the near side corner, fumbling that though, and Newman's going to chip that away from Fisher. Mahoney walks out of the back, takes a shot, a rebound out into the slot, is picked up by the Ducks captain and cleared to the line and not out. Parrington does finally get that down the length of the ice, and Brown goes for a change for the Lightning.
Not the cleanest dump there by Parrington, but it buys them a little bit of time. It took longer to get down to the end they would have liked. Fisher though.
She picked that up on the blue line, got it over to Crompton, chased back by Parrington. Good back check there by the Ducks captain. Knocks the Lightning player off the puck, and Parrington hits that off the glass down the length of the ice. Much to the pleasure of Hollier sitting in the box. So here come the Lightning looking to get into the offensive zone. Good skating here by Clinic. She's got Woolrich on the point. She's pinned up there by Grakovic. In for support is Crompton, and the puck squirts out and collected by Rama. She shoots that down the length of the ice and right onto the netminder.
Just 40 seconds to go on the Hollier penalty. Not too many shots and opportunities thus far for the Lightning. Ducks sticking with the same. They managed to get a change in the defence, which is good to see.
Here's Woolworth with speed coming through the neutral zone. Just skates it past her own player, stops up, ready to set up here for power play 1. Woolworth winds, shot, blocked off the leg there of Nelson. It comes back to her on the point. She's got Crompton, elects to give it to her. She'll wait. She's got Clinic going to the net, gives it over to Woolworth, who takes a shot, and that one goes wide and will rim all the way, but not out as it's kept in by Clinic, the goal scorer. Winds, shoots, deflects, goes wide, and Grakovic will get the puck. Hollier back on the ice, and the power play over, and one last shot there by the Lightning. Still with the puck here in the offensive zone. Puck's curled back onto the stick of Woolworth, who winds, shoots, and that goes high.
Good early sustained pressure from the Lightning after this power play. But finally the Ducks managed to clear it out. Hellier will get there first.
Yeah, fresh out of the box with speed. She's all alone, so she'll just have to keep it away from LaPlante. She chicks that behind the net and allows the rest of her teammates in to start the forecheck. Fitzgerald evaded the first Ducks player, and the Lightning lose that. Intercepted, though, here in the high slot, and just mishandled there by Brown, and the Ducks get it out of the zone. Stringer back behind her own net for the Ducks. Rims it across, looking for Willison Allen. That finds her stick. She's able to get it out in the neutral zone, but can't find a teammate, as Dixon now will collect it here for the Lightning. Stretch pass through the center. Intercepted by Johnson. She skates away from the oncoming forecheck, still with it on the backhand. Nice move through center ice. Briar Johnson here for the Ducks. Had it poked off her stick. And now the Lightning will turn the other way and dump and go for a change.
Briar Johnson there. Just being a little bit adventurous with the puck. OD were changing, left a bit of a gap. But fortunately for the Ducks, they got back and closed it down in time.
Mahoney watching Johnson, who goes cross ice looking for Yates. She'll get that up over to Cameron, who finds 2 Lightning players there in front of the bench. Yates tied up there by the captain of the Lightning. It's still there on the blue line, and it comes out here for Mahoney, who's chased back by Parrington, who now turns the other way. Behind the net, Willison Allen pinned up on the wall. It does come out for the Lightning now, who stretch it out looking for Fisher. She chicks that forward, picks it up behind the net, chips it into the open corner and picks it up herself. Goonan looking for it on the point. The Ducks, though, steal that puck, and they do get it up to Tran, who just casually able to get that over the blue line.
Just a little bit pedestrian with the puck movement. She might not have realized how much pressure was coming.
That dump hit the linesman there in front of the Lightning bench, but it still allowed the Ducks to change. The forecheck starting there by Mendham, and the puck shot down the length of the ice, missing everyone, and this one will be icing.
It's the first icing of the game, and after the first goal, it's been pretty relentless. There's that penalty on Hellier, and then it's been non-stop for the last couple of minutes. So an opportunity now for the Ducks to set up in the attacking zone and see if they can create something out of this face-off. We'll also get a chance to see how the Lightning do their breakout from here and see what they have. They're lining up 3 across in the slot. Ducks D pinching in close.
Face-off won by the Ducks, but the Lightning winger comes in. It gets to the point. Shot in, deflected, and nearly there was Mendham. A rebound there by Nelson, hit the side of the net. Picked up there by Fitzgerald, who was knocked but stayed on her feet. Mahoney now will chase in on Rama. Using her speed, Mahoney starts and will pick up that puck behind the net. Grakovic watches her. Picks it up. Had it stolen off her stick, and this is Fitzgerald now with it for the Lightning. Pinned up by Rama, who shoots it over to open wing for Nelson. She'll skate this into the neutral zone. The Ducks are 3 wide. It's Nelson who puts it past the Lightning defender. LaPlante pins up Mendham. Puck's loose there. Still behind the net, and out with it comes LaPlante. Woolrich gets it up there for Clinic, the goal scorer. She tried to move to get around Stringer. And Woolrich chips it back behind the net. So Ducks hemmed in again. It's now on the stick of Hollier. She'll chip that off the wall and down the length of the ice, but icing waved off by linesman Jeffrey Klink.
Holly going in deep on that forecheck aggressively. She needs to do that to try and disrupt the breakout by the Lightning.
Woolrich got it to Brown, gets it back, takes a nice shot there, but it deflected off the stick of Stringer and went wide. Hollier will rim it around. Cashin will get into a foot race here with the Lightning player, and it's Rapchuk who sends it back deep for the Ducks to regroup. Gallagher with a pass there, deflected by Rapchuk, and Cashin still can't get it past Brown.
And Gallagher making that classic mistake of the cross-ice pass out of deep, costs you dearly.
Puck here in the corner, knocked down is Johnson. Puck comes back here to Brown. She's got Rapchuk, elects to send it down into the corner. Behind the net, it comes over to Cashin. Goes cross ice, but intercepted there by the Lightning's Dixon.
Nice pressure there by Bri Johnson, one of the more ferocious players from the Ducks. She appeals off though, knows she's been out for too long to get that important change. Fresh legs on for the Ducks.
Crompton went cross ice. It finds a teammate. Parrington, though, watched by Crompton as well here.
Parrington ran into and surrounded by a wall of white jerseys, just trying to give her opposition a little bit of a shove to try and clear it away, but Fisher now picks it up nicely on the blue line.
Gets it right over to Mahoney, drops it back for Fisher, takes a shot, deflects into Parrington, who drops the puck and has a teammate not able to get it out as Goonan keeps it in on the point.
And Parrington wore that one high on the torso. That's going to hurt.
Crompton shot in and it went through Gargano, but all the way across the other side. A nice power move there to make a stick save on the short side. It's Mahoney now walking off the point, taking it into the slot. Crompton spun that wide. It comes out into Mahoney and centered all the way down as it missed Goonan, who was on the point looking for a pass.
Ducks a little bit lucky to get away with that occasion. Fisher was very well positioned. Just couldn't quite get onto the puck. She was unmarked in the slot again.
Great ferocious back check there by Morgan to stop Crompton, and it's now on the stick of Rama in her own zone. She regroups with Grakovic, who takes it behind the net, chims it up on the wall there for Cameron. Back to Grakovic, head up, back to Cameron. Pinching, though, is the Lightning captain Costa, but wasn't able to keep the puck in as Briar Johnson came in to support. A pass missed Clinic, and that's going to allow Rama to clear the zone as Briar Johnson attempts to get it over to Willison Allen. Fitzgerald takes it wide on Rama, cuts in on the back and shoots. What a goal!
That was a thing of beauty. Watch this on the replay. You'll see she drags Gargano across, commits her into the movement, and then just drags the puck backwards, and it looks like it's a little toe flick. Just over the backhand side of it. She goes stick side.
She puts the puck through her legs, and Marie Fitzgerald, her 18th of the season. What a beauty.
That's not a bad way to clock that score up for her. It was an absolute beautiful piece of puck handling there. She got through just about everyone, and Gargano looked like she had it, but just that little bit of deception at the end. Beautiful play indeed.
So score now 2-0, 6 minutes and 13 seconds into the first period. The Ducks dumped that deep. Mendham got there first, but it's stolen there by LaPlante. Pinned up on the wall, though, walking out on it there was Nelson. Chipped forward there by Gallagher. Nelson will wind, fans on the shot, right in on Arthur, who covers up and makes no mistake. So just over halfway through the first period, the shot 7-4 in favor of the Lightning, who also are up 2-0 after an unreal individual effort from Fitzgerald for her team leading 18th of the season.
That was an absolutely beautiful goal. So the two top goal scorers for the Lightning, Clinic and Fitzgerald, adding to their tallies.
Puck now on to Stringer. She shovels that deep. It's on the half wall. Stringer battles there, and a big forecheck here as she comes through. It's on the stick now of the Lightning forward. Puck comes out to Mahoney. She just gets that out of her feet, throws that deep, looking for Crompton. She's got Fisher behind the net and tried to cycle it back, but Nelson was there for the Ducks. Sends it over an Aaron wing as the Ducks elect to change. This is going to allow some space for the Lightning to come through. It's Crompton who is chipping it over to Mahoney. Just missed her, picked up now by Ryland. She chips that forward. It's kept in by Rapchuk, and now Mahoney will walk off the wall, but had that knocked off her stick by Morgan. Dixon regroups it over to Rapchuk. pushed back by Parrington. She'll take it in her own zone, just maneuvers to get that breakout pass going, and it finds Brown. Tran with it here now for the Ducks, watched by Dixon, cuts back, knocked out, picked up by Woolrich. Nice little move to get the stick available, and the Lightning come in with speed. An errant pass intercepted by the Ducks captain, though, and she'll turn down the other way, shoot that in, and they'll change.
Okay, Parrington wisely there, just dumping the puck in. She knew she'd been out for a long time, needed that change. Lightning go cross ice. They get away just past the outstretched stick there of Hellier.
Arthur chips that one into the corner. It's going to be picked up here by the Lightning defender. Pinned up there. Cashin comes in for support. Hollier walks out behind the net. She's knocked down by Costa. No penalty on the play. It's Clinic now who chips that all the way down the length of the ice, but it won't be enough for icing. So Grakovic just chips it forward now for Cashin. In comes Clinic. Couldn't find the pass over to Johnson. Good stretch pass into the center, finds Fitzgerald, who shovels that deep as the Lightning make wholesale line changes.
Fitzgerald there was just in the process of changing as the puck came across to her while she was being pressured tightly there by the Ducks defense.
Breakout pass stopped at the line. Johnson just turns back now. She'll take that on the backhand and take it behind the net as she evades the forecheck here of the Lightning. Cashin chips it back, pinned up though by Brown. It's Rama now who just chips it over to Grakovic, who has a couple seconds here and finds that for Hollier, who still can't get it out. So the Ducks hemmed in again, but finally chipped forward there by Grakovic, and it flips out open to an open wing, and it'll be picked up here by Worm, who sends it forward, and racing back was Grakovic to knock that off the stick of Kalambakis.
It almost looked like Grakovic was caught in the process of a change. There was a lot of traffic in front of the Ducks bench. A little bit of confusion, but they got it sorted out in the end, and luckily Grakovic got back in time.
That clearing attempt went right in on net, so that's going to allow the forecheck to continue here for the Ducks. It's Newman coming in, but a great pass now finds Mahoney, who comes in with speed. In, move, Gallagher just enough to stop that up, but an errant pass finds Crompton, who just backhanded that wide into the corner.
It also looked like she might have been away, but the puck was just stolen from her feet.
Centering pass misses everyone, and now the race is on. It's Rapchuk who got there before Newman. She goes D to D over to Dixon, who sent that up looking for Crompton. She'll chase in on Stringer. Mahoney picks up that puck from the point, gets it back down to Crompton, who gets it to Rapchuk. Shot on a bouncer, kicked aside there by Gargano.
An awkward length there from Rapchuk. It was a good shot. Difficult one there for Gargano to see and judge.
Ooh, nice high shot there, just missing Robbie Love, the referee, and it comes out to the Aaron wing now for Green. She had the Newman open, just missed her, and this is going to allow the Lightning to get in through Rapchuk. She walks in, has Dixon behind, finds Woolrich, who takes a shot, saved by Gargano, and that deflects into the corner. Woolrich will pick up the loose puck, pass it back to Dixon. She'll send it back to Woolrich, who'll walk off the wall, curl, take a shot, and that went off the toe there of Gargano. Centering pass there, and Clinic just couldn't get a stick on it, and it'll come into the near side corner, pinned up there by Green. Puck back to the point there for Dixon. Out to Fitzgerald, who takes a shot and scores!
Beautiful shot there by Fitzgerald. She created a lot of open space. The Ducks have been caught puck watching deep in the corner at one stage there in that defensive play. There was three of them defending down below the goal line, and that opened up that space for Fitzgerald, who in the end received a perfect pass, lovely one-timer, and straight over Gargano into the net. Taking full advantage there of a couple of defensive lapses by Brisbane. They are making the Ducks pay for those small lapses with an absolute beautiful shot there by the Brisbane Lightning forwards. And just good use of that time and space and creating those opportunities. They're seeing the Ducks pinching in deep and just getting some open space. And when you do that, you're going to score goals.
Yeah, sustained pressure here by the Lightning is just moving the Ducks defenders all around, and that's the second or third opportunity in that high slot area. And Fitzgerald, after putting the puck between her legs, isn't going to make a mistake with plenty of time right in the slot. So a 3-0 game here in the first period. It's on the stick of the Lightning, who chipped that in for the forecheck. It's chipped over to Tran, who now gets that forward for Nelson. She'll look to get the Ducks on the board as she takes it wide, comes in and just tried to chip that over the glove of Arthur, but missed short side.
She had Green well positioned, who just about ran smack forwards there into the Lightning goaltender. in Arthur.
Gargano chipped that one aside off the shot from Brown. It's now Cameron, who can't get it past Mahoney, who just keeps the forecheck on. You can see the Brisbane Lightning just happy to keep the puck in the Ducks zone and wait for support. Nelson, all by herself, will just send that in and go for a change. First to it, though, will be Braun Cashin. She has that behind the net. Centering and a shot on and nearly there, but it was picked up there by the Lightning, and now they go the other way. A good pinch by Grakovic, though, broke that up. Otherwise, it would have been an odd player rush down the other side.
Nice vision there by Cashin. She had Johnson loose in the slot and tried to get the puck across to her. It was a good chance.
LaPlante just takes it behind the net, had it stolen off her stick there by Grakovic. Mahoney comes in for support, though, and keeps the puck deep in Ducks territory. Cashin can't get it past LaPlante. Fisher just waiting here on the point if the puck does come back to her, but it comes out here for Mahoney. Watched by Hollier. Back now to Fisher on the point. Elects to send that down for LaPlante. And she'll now change with Fisher and go back to her rightful place there on the defensive line and now go for a change. Grakovic twisting and turning in the defensive zone. Gets it out, but fresh off the bench now is Rapchuk. In with speed, but a little too quick as Crompton wasn't able to exit the zone. And we'll have a face-off here in the neutral zone after an offside.
Compton there. She knew she was going to get caught. She was trying to get back for a change. Been out on the ice for quite a while. As a result, here we go. Face off just in front of where we're standing, right here beside the ice, here at IceHQ.
Parrington facing off there, lost it to Fitzgerald, who's already on a hat trick watch in the first period. This line's been dangerous here for the Lightning, and it's now on the stick left for Woolrich behind the net. She'll come out of the corner. Just change there with Clinic, and a centering pass there nearly found Fitzgerald, and luckily for the Ducks, that did not find her stick as she has 2 goals already to her name. Parrington chips it forward. Dixon off the wall, found Woolrich, who just gives it right back to Dixon. She plays catch there with Rapchuk, who gets it over to Clinic, the other goal scorer in tonight's game. Gets it back to Woolrich, who evades the check there of the Ducks, and a shot there by Fitzgerald ramps off the stick of Ryland, and we'll have a face-off here to the right of Gargano.
Yeah, the Ryland, they're doing a good job of occupying that space, getting that deflection over the top, hits the net, and we will get a restart. It's good to see out on the ice, getting a fair bit of time at the moment. Is Paige Cameron, who a couple of weeks ago when they last played here was probably my pick for one of the best players on the ice for the Ducks. If she can get some of that form today and make a difference, that would be a great thing to see.
So puck in the corner. It's going to be picked up by Brown, centering it there, looking for a teammate, but it missed her, and it's going to be shoveled right back. So Brown back behind the net. Still with it. She's got Worm in front. Tried to find her, but it was intercepted by Ryland, who'll skate it out of the zone, and Green will just chip that right in again on Arthur, who will cover up, and we'll have a face-off in the Lightning defensive zone late here with 1:31 remaining in the first period.
Arthur there, just doing very conservative, so the puck coming down, didn't want anything untoward to happen. Wants to maintain that excellent goal-saving percentage she had so far throughout the season. I believe at the start of this game she was saving .91, so superb work for her. And she'd like to improve that statistic today.
So the puck just on the wall there. It does come back to the point for the Ducks. Grakovic just backhands the little bouncer that comes into the near corner. First to it is the Lightning. That was Mossman chipping it back to her D partner. Who'll just wait for the breakout and chip it up onto the wall. The Lightning do get it out in the neutral zone now, and it's on the stick of Mahoney. A nice move to cut in. Finds Crumpton, who makes a nice shot and a save by Gargano. Final minute remaining here in the first. It's Grakovic behind the net, who's wrestled down by Fisher. No penalty, though, and it'll be picked up by Nelson, who's got some space. Late here in the first, Nelson rims that into the defensive zone. It'll be picked up behind the net there by Mossman. She's just being watched here by Green. Crompton behind the net, chips it up for Mahoney. Nice move into space, but look at the back check there by Hollier. Still with it is Mahoney, looking to center it, intercepted there by Green.
The puck went right through the slot, bit lucky to get away with it there on that occasion, the Ducks, but Mahoney had been out on the ice for a long time.
Newman finds Hollier. She's all by herself, though, against 4 white jerseys. She'll just chip it behind the net, and chase that with 10 seconds remaining in the period. It will be all academic now with 4 seconds remaining, and Hollier will chip that in, and we'll hear the buzzer as the Lightning go to the first break, up by 3 against the Melbourne Ducks here at IceHQ.
So goals in the first, 1 to Clinic early on, and 2 to Anne-Marie Fitzgerald. So those 2 high goal scorers for the Lightning, proving their worth, absolutely. But some great play as well, too. We just saw a nice piece of play by Courtney Mahoney with a lovely break down the middle and a combination pass, and a good second effort chance for her as well. The Ducks with a penalty, the only thing on the scoreboard so far.
It's a gift. And it's a thief. It heals. It teaches. And it can be on your side. It can even fly. We can try to get ahead of it. But it marches on. Time. It can be measured in eras and accomplishments and historical milestones. CCM measures time by its impact. We are the past. We are the future. CCM, we are hockey.
To truly focus in this game, you have to block everything else out and embrace the familiar. At CCM, the Ribcore Trigger 9 Pro is designed for a quick release because this game can change in an instant. CCM, feel more.
With the JetSpeed FT8 Pro skates, speed comes from the right balance of technology, comfort, and determination, and a personal drive to continually outdo yourself. We are untouchable. Our eFlex 7 goalie equipment is designed so you can be quick and reactive, because all it takes is a split second for their highlight to become yours.
Saved by Demko.
We are stealing the show.
The CCM FTW skate is made for athletes. It is specially built for women, by women, so while it's designed for all women's feet, it's also tailor-made for you. CCM, we are hockey.
Leaders may be born, but breaking records comes from the quickest release. The Ribcore Trigger 10 Pro provides effortless loading for a stealthy shot. Perfect if you want to outdo yourself this year. We are goal scorers.
Did you know there are 218,952 female hockey players in the world? They all have their own strengths, their own ambitions, their own styles, and they all need their equipment to fit their way. No two are exactly alike. That's why CCM designs and develops equipment for each one of them. Because they all have their own feel for the game. CCM. Feel more.
In minor midget, I switched to CCM, and ever since then, it was the best decision I made.
Welcome back to the IceHQ ice rink in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia for the resumption of hostilities between the Melbourne Ducks and the Brisbane Lightning. The Brisbane Lightning in their away white jersey, the Ducks in the black with green. At the end of the first, it was a good period for the Lightning. One goal early on to Lindsay Clinic, and then two to Anne-Marie Fitzgerald. One absolute beauty when she found a lot of empty space in high slot with a lovely shot. Another one where she did a beautiful piece of deception and snuck one past Olivia Gargano in the net for the Ducks. Didn't look like anything was going to get scored, but she did it absolutely beautifully with some superb deception and a lovely piece of lateral puck movement in front of the net. Gossie, what do the Ducks need to do in the second?
Well, the Lightning are beating the Ducks with speed. They're able to get the puck in the back zone. They're able to regroup well with the D, move it through the neutral zone, get it deep, and hem the Ducks in. And really, the Ducks really haven't had any good sustained pressure. All they've been able to do is dump that puck in and go for a change. So you're going to have to try to see if some of the Ducks can get a little bit of a more independent brilliance, if you want to say that, skate that in, wait for a bit of support. And I think you just got to try to throw it on net, get some traffic, and win one back. A goal will go to the confidence of the team in black for sure, and that's what they're going to need if they're going to make anything out of this game so far.
They did have one good opportunity. Bron Cashin managed to find a bit of space behind the net. She's trying to get the puck into Bri Johnson. Bri was being very, very closely marked, though, by the Lightning defence, doing an excellent job in that circumstance of making sure that there's no loose player in the slot with the stick down in the ice without someone in a white jersey in their face being very annoying, which is what you need to be doing. You've got to own that space in front of the slot, and that's something the Ducks, they've got to get better at it. They just have to. It's one of their big weaknesses is they're just a bit timid in that case, or they're caught puck watching, and that's what happened on at least one occasion in that game in that first period. So if the Ducks can sort that out, shots on the net, it's 11-6. It's not that bad, but the ones that matter, of course, are 3 behind the net for the Lightning to tickle the scoreboard. So we're about to get underway now in the second.
We'll start off a face-off between Brown and Nelson. It's won by the Lightning, tied up though, and Green comes in, and now we'll kick it forward. Just couldn't get that as it stuck a little bit on the wet ice, and the puck now sent down the other way as Rama now will look to regroup.
Made him a bit unlucky there. Normally the puck would move fairly quickly as the puck is just dumped into the Ducks bench as they're all kind of look to try and find it a souvenir for someone. Yeah, Green had a bit of space and looked all money as if she was going to get past the Lightning defence, but the puck, the ice had another thought. Frozen water has any thoughts at all, and of course we're not
so here comes this
water has any memory.
Here comes this big line for the Lightning. They've looked really great out on the ice, and Woolrich, who's 2 assists so far, chips that down, and first to it will be Green. So fresh legs for the Lightning, still that same top line there for the Ducks. It's on the stick of Grikovic, had that stolen by Fitzgerald, who centers that, and it just handcuffed Clinic there in front of the net, and it'll force Costa, the captain, back into her own zone.
That one went past everyone. The ice still a little bit wet here at IceHQ. It's a hot day.
Clinic with a shot and a block and arm save there by Gargano as the Lightning get their first opportunity of the second stanza. It's behind the net now here for Fitzgerald, centered, looking for Clinic. It bounces into the high slot area and picked up there by Stringer. Costa, though, whines, fanned on that one as she was tied up by Rama. Now Johnson will be able to get that out into the neutral zone, and we will have a penalty.
It looks like it's going to be a Lightning player. Their captain will be sitting 2.
For hooking.
So this is an opportunity for the Ducks' first power play of the game. And again, their power play, you can say one thing for sure, something happens. They've been pretty good at scoring goals on it, but also very, very bad at giving away short-handed goals. The Lightning will know that. I'm sure their coaching staff have been paying attention to the numbers. And they'll know the Ducks' power play strategy and try and get it to Grikovic and fire the cannon.
So Woolrich will face off against Parrington. Big face off here for the Ducks, and it's won cleanly there by the captain. Grikovic rims that in. It just deflects wide. It'll be picked up there by Green, who will now take it on the back post. She'll give it over to Grikovic. Just kept that in on the line. Chips it there on the half wall for Nelson. Nelson back to Grikovic. Will whine. Take a shot. Deflected. And that one just went wide. Ducks pick up the loose puck, though. It comes back to Parrington, over to Grikovic. Another one-timer deflected wide this time off the stick of Rapchuk. Grikovic again there in front of the Ducks bench. Goes cross-ice looking for Rama. It just bounced off her stick, but is able to pick up the loose puck and curl away. Centering pass intercepted, though, by Woolrich, and she'll have a little bit of time and will take it and look to go cross-ice, but it's intercepted there by Green, and this is going to give the Ducks an opportunity. Grikovic with a shot, handcuffs the goaltender, and Green came in looking for a rebound, but Arthur able to cover up, much to the dismay of the Lightning defenders there in front of their goaltenders.
Good work there by the Lightning D, though. The puck was bobbling around a little bit in front. Looked as if Arthur had lost sight of it briefly. It's easy to do when it's down in front of the goalie's pads, but the Lightning defence, to their credit, came through and immediately cleaned out the Ducks defence.
And that first 51 seconds shows all what's great there by the Ducks power play. Lots of puck movement, getting it back to the point, getting the shot on, and just not able to get the rebound. Let's see if the second power play unit can build on that momentum. Cameron just mishandled it, which will force it to take it behind the net, watched by the forecheck. It's stolen, though, by Fitzgerald. Already 2 goals today. Nice move, cuts in front, backhands right into the chest, and it goes in. So Fitzgerald gets her hat trick shorthanded here in the second stanza as the Brisbane Lightning go up 4-0.
Lightning there again, taking the Achilles heel of the Ducks. It's that short-handed goal on the power play. They're still on the penalty on the power play, the Ducks, for another 45 seconds. But the Lightning seeing that chance. Just a little bit of mishandling there by the Ducks, allowing that to happen.
Yeah, you see that on the
bang, in it
CCM
goes.
all-out replay. Shot just into the chest there, Gargano, and just squeezed through, and the Ducks defender just couldn't stop that from going across the line. And another short-handed goal against here for the Melbourne Ducks.
The referees there have blown an icing, but they're going to have to pull it back. So they've just realised that was an error. The power play, of course, for the Ducks means the Lightning no icing is called on that, so they bring it back to a centre ice face-off.
Puck tied up there by the wingers. It's going to be picked up by Woolrich, who takes it back into her own zone and sends that all the way down the length of the ice.
30 seconds to go on the Costa penalty for the Lightning.
First power play unit back for the Ducks is Grakovic in her own corner. Just elects to chip it off the back of the net and pick it up herself. Curls back away from the forecheck. Still with it is the Ducks import with a stretch pass over looking for Nelson. Puck comes right back there to Grakovic, who gets it up to Nelson, who'll take it over the line and play catch now here with the Ducks defender. That's going to end the power play, but the Ducks still in the offensive zone. A clearing attempt goes down the length of the ice, and fresh out of the box is the Lightning captain. So icing waved off. Costa walks out of the corner, centered it, and that just missed Crompton. Nelson, nice move. Past Mossman, another move, comes through, takes a shot, and right into the glove of Arthur, as Nelson with some great individual effort there to get a shot on goal here for the Ducks.
Just going to rewind us back about 30 or so seconds to Costa's play coming out of the penalty box. So many times we see players come out of the box and just reflexively go straight across the ice to get a change. Costa came out, the puck came straight to her, and she generated an attacking chance. A lesson for anyone, a young player, when you come out of the penalty box, make sure you're watching the game, not just your bench if you're going over for a change. The game is more important than the change.
Yeah, that CCM all-out replay just showing the nice toe drag there by Nelson. Very reminiscent of one of Rick Nash's best goals, where he went toe drag around one, toe drag around another, and put it in the back of the net. Nelson just wasn't able to do that today. So the puck in the Ducks zone, it comes onto the stick of Cashin, who gets it out into the neutral zone. It is back there now for Dixon. She goes cross ice for Kalambokis, who just runs into the immovable wall that is Briar Johnson. Puck squirts out just out of the reach of Worm. It's Cashin now forcing Rabchuk back. She'll take it behind the net, stop up, and feed that up to her forecheck. Oh, intercepted though by Hollier. Will turn around, maybe an opportunity here for the Ducks. Takes a shot, misses that. It'll rim around. Gallagher should be able to keep it away from Mahoney, and does. Shovels that deep into the corner. It'll come back to Niamh Gallagher, who chips it in looking for Hollier. She'll curl. Just drop it back for Johnson. Watched there by Dixon. Johnson brings it to the forehand, and Mahoney comes in and strips Johnson of the puck. Now using her speed, tried to get around Gallagher and was stopped up momentarily, as now Cashin goes for a change. Fisher chases in on Gallagher. She's got Mahoney in front of the net. Still with it. Fisher. Watched there by Nelson. Centers it there, and it was chipped forward, but intercepted there on the goal line by Briar Johnson, who now chips it up for Newman. The Ducks in on the offensive zone. Wines takes a shot. A kick save there by Arthur. Chips into the corner. Nelson picks up the loose puck. Still with it. Battling with Costa. Nelson wins it, gets it back for Ryland, but a good stick by Mahoney blocked that, and now Crompton will elect to take it behind the net and look for a breakout.
Awkward bounce there for Ryland, and all she could do was just kind of a bit of a lobby chip in backhand.
Oh, a pass there for Mahoney, just knocked off her stick. It's chipped up by Costa, though, and here comes the speedy Mahoney. Goes wide, just tripped up. No penalty on the play, though. Woolrich will pick up the puck and take it behind the net. A wraparound chance, and bounced off the stick of Ryland there in front of the net, and the Ducks escape from there. Woolrich, though, with it in the slot. Wine shots and scores! What a rocket there by the import, as she adds a goal to her 2 assists. And the Lightning now up 5-0.
That's a beautiful piece of generating space in the open slot. The Inferno earlier on a little bit vulnerable to some cross-ice passes through D that did result in some turnarounds, but they escaped the pressure, got down the other end, and they take the score out. It's getting pretty hard now for the Ducks with that 5-goal deficit halfway through, 5 minutes through into the second. A lot of catching up for them to do now. If they can get a goal on the board, get a bit of confidence in themselves, that'll make a big difference.
Face-off won cleanly by the Lightning. It's on the stick of Mossman, who chipped that forward to Clinic. Puck shot deep into the Duck zone. Really haven't been able to do much on this Lightning forecheck, and in come 2 Lightning players, and Fitzgerald wins that battle, and it comes out now to Woolrich, the goal scorer. 3 points so far tonight. Couldn't keep it away from Morgan, but a good pinch there by LaPlante gets it deep. Clinic curls away from Rama, still with it. Has Fitzgerald, finds her in the corner, just tries to keep that away from Tran. Nice little move to get it back onto the forehand. Mossman's open high slot. Walking out of the corner, it does find Mossman, who takes a shot, and that deflects wide. Battle here on the point. It's going to be kept in by the Lightning. Parrington chips it to the Aaron wing. First to it will be Morgan, but LaPlante pinches, and it does now come out. Grikovic racing in on Mossman. Mossman with her extended reach, able just to keep that away from Grikovic, who now goes for a change.
Grikovic just lost a sticky in the process, had to go and get a change while she was at it.
Stretch pass founds Clinic, but support and Stringer just keeps that away only momentarily as Worm chips it over to the near side wall. Hollier with a bit of space will skate that from behind the net. Now bring it into the neutral zone. The Kiwi International coming through. Hollier winds, shoots, and a blocking arm save there by Arthur as she covers up with no rebound.
Good solo effort there by Hollier, which is eventually pushed off to an awkward angle, though. The Lightning do a good job of just forcing that move wide. They saw that Hollier had a fair bit of speed up and forced her into that corner position. In the end, giving Arthur a fairly routine save. Not that any of them ever are, but certainly from that angle, it's hard to score. A nice defensive work there by the Lightning.
Worm chips it forward. It's stopped up by Yates. Head up, looking for a pass. Tried to find Hollier and missed her, but it deflects off a stick, so no icing. Behind the net is Rapchuk, who rims it around over for Worm. Chipping it up, looking for Brown, but a good pin there by Hollier. We'll come back to the point for Yates, who winds, takes a shot, and goes in! What a goal by Tara Yates! As the Ducks get one back, her first goal of the season.
Tara Yates there, a beauty. She just pinched in off the blue line, had a bit of room. The Lightning defence just laying off and giving a bit more space, perhaps not thinking she was a threat. She flung it in high. I'm not sure necessarily if Arthur there was screened at all, but not that it matters because the puck ends up in the tie and the Ducks are on the scoreboard. A goal that they desperately needed to get themselves into this game. It had been all Lightning so far, and that one a little bit against the flow. 10 shots to the Ducks now, but finally they get one on the board. Lightning 5, Ducks 1 with 12 minutes and a smidge to play in the second. We'll just wait for the lights to come back on.
What a great view there on that CCM all-out replay. Right in the top shelf, top corner, ringed off the iron, and an Angel gets their wings.
And we're just waiting for the lights to come back on. There's been a little bit of a glitch with the sound system and lighting entertainment system here. It's gone dark, but not completely pitch black, but we'll be back with you in just a second. You can't see it on the camera, of course, because it needs a lot more light than we need to see what's happening, but we'll just wait until the lights are brought back on. But a great piece of play there by Yates. She saw that the opportunity was there and she was given a bit of room. Uncharacteristically, the Lightning laying back. And Yates flung it in. And you know what I say, Gossy? Put it on the net. Sometimes they'll go. We're just still waiting for the lights to be reset. Just getting some technical assistance here. It shouldn't be too much longer. There we go. No, we've got a light. There we go. Lights are back. Excellent. So we can resume the game with 12 minutes and 19 seconds to play in the second.
So face-off won again by the Lightning. It's chipped forward. It's Mahoney now with a shot, and that was a set play as Costa and Mahoney were chatting before the face-off. It's Newman now that has it on the wall. Crompton picks it out, gets it back to the captain there for Costa, who takes a shot along the ice, looking for a deflection. The puck's loose, only momentarily though, as Gargano looked behind her but was able to cover up.
Gargano under a bit of pressure. The Lightning pretty keen to get that one back as quickly as they possibly could. We're still also just waiting for the scoreboard to update. You might not necessarily be seeing it, but it is 1 goal to the Ducks. Just waiting while a few little issues get sorted out.
So that goal, Tara Yates, first of the season, first as a Melbourne Duck, and first in AWIHL action. So well done, Tara Yates. Here you go, though. Puck's still live. It's a 5-1 game. It's on the stick of Woolrich, who has 4 points so far tonight. It's on Fitzgerald, who already has 3 goals for the Lightning. Puck back, cycled behind the net. Clinic's in front of the net. It comes back to Mossman, who takes a shot, looking for a deflection, but that one saved by Gargano and deflected into the corner.
A lot of sticks here in the way for the Lightning. A good chance for a bit of a deflection. Didn't quite go for them, though.
Kukovic with a nice pass up for Nelson. She battles with Mossman, wins it, curls in, takes a shot, and deflected wide there as a great save by Arthur. Her 11th save of the game. And here comes Nelson again in the offensive zone. Wines takes a shot right into the chest of Arthur. And what we can say is she doesn't give up many rebounds. Really good on that rebound control and covers up, and we'll have another face-off here in the Lightning zone.
And that's certainly been a difference for the Lightning. A save percentage for Arthur is superb throughout this season. It'll be up to .91 or so, I'd be guessing, by this point in time throughout this game. But as you say, Gossie, one of the great skills of a goaltender is not necessarily making those first saves, because you kind of expect that at this level. But again, making sure the rebound doesn't turn into a great opportunity, and Arthur's done that very well so far.
So here's Dixon for the Lightning, watched by Johnson. Johnson knocks her down. No penalty on the play, though, and able to chip it over to Cashin. She got rubbed out there by Rapchuk, and Hollier now will try to steal it off the Lightning defender, but all it can do is get it back to the point. Stringer will now take a shot. Blocked in front of the slot area there, and the Lightning come the other way through Worm. Gallagher knocked that off her stick, and the race is on into the corner. Gallagher wins that battle and just chips it up to the Aaron wing. A big knock there on the board, and doesn't look like a hand is up. So the Lightning with the offensive pressure. Ducks probably lucky not to get a penalty on that one, and now Cashin will walk out of the corner and just rim it up off the wall.
Nice chip there by Cashin, trying to get past the pressure. Lightning go back in defence, but they come through. Hollier very nearly stole that one.
Yeah, that was Dixon who just fell down, but Hollier couldn't pick up the loose puck, and now Gallagher just forced to wait for Johnson to get back on side. Shot blocked into the skates there, and a shot there by Cashin, easily gloved there by Arthur as the Ducks look to increase the pressure after getting one back here in a 5-1 game.
Hollier there was just looking for a chance to put the puck in deep, and unfortunately for her, as everyone was changing in front of the bench, just bodies all over the place, which caused that little bit of consternation. So I apologise too. If you're looking at the sky, it's up now, I should say. So the one goal for the Ducks is now on the board. I'm not going to say it went to Toronto for verification. That wasn't necessary. It was a minor glitch.
That was a great face-off there by Parrington. A shot on, and it handcuffed Arthur, but able to get a glove on it as there were 3 Ducks players there looking to pounce.
Yates very nearly with a second. It was almost an identical situation earlier. Just flung the puck in from just a bit of a pinch in from the blue line high, and his body's in the way, and a few chances. Yates almost got a second.
Parrington's been great on the face-off dot and wins another one. Yates looked to throw that forward right into the skates of Fisher, and it's now 2 wide. Mahoney and Fisher. Fisher over to Mahoney, but just tied up by Ryland and forces her into the corner. She's curling away, looked to cycle it back. Parrington with a little bit extra jump on this shift, able to keep it away from the Lightning. It's Tran now with it. Stopped up, though, there by Fisher, and 4 players pile up in the corner. Comes out for Mahoney, who has it on the backhand, drops it over to Crompton, who just shovels that into the corner. First 2 will be Ryland, who just tries to keep that away there from Fisher. A centering pass back to the point. Costa tried to throw that on, but it was intercepted by Ryland, who gets that out into the neutral zone. Costa drops it for Crompton, stolen there by Tran, who won't beat the foot race there with the Lightning captain. It's loose there, though, and Tran just knocks it away from the Lightning player. Mahoney, though, uses her speed and gets it up to Crompton. It's a 3-on-2, and Crompton shovels that into the open corner, and 2 Lightning players go for a change. LaPlante, D to Mossman. She shovels that deep into the corner. It's the big line out here for the Lightning. They've got 6 of the goals or 5 of the goals tonight. 3 to Fitzgerald, 1 to Clinic, and 1 to Woolrich. It's a 5-1 game. Clinic keeps that away from Newman. Stretch pass there, stolen, picked up by Nelson, who will skate in on LaPlante with a great active stick to knock it off the American.
That was a beautiful poke check indeed, just breaking up that chance.
And here's Fitzgerald walking through the slot, winding, shooting, save Gargano, but a rebound floats into the corner and will be picked up there by Fitzgerald. She goes cross ice, nice pass, another shot, and they score! This time it's Sharnita Crompton as she scores number 6 here.
And Crompton, you'll see on the replay, she just gets that extra space. She's floating around in the Ovechkin Memorial position and gets a shot away beautifully. It's just a lovely one-timer from a beautiful pass right onto her stick.
But my mistake there on the CCM All-Out replay. That's a second goal of the game for Lindsay Clinic as she goes up to 12 so far on the season.
She was beautifully positioned. Just the Ducks again giving away that space and just letting the Lightning get into position. You know, she's floating there totally unmarked, and you're going to score there more times than not if you can get that space.
So another good setup there for the Lightning, able to get that cross ice, and another great goal, top shelf, where they keep the cookies from the kids. It's Worm now who just chips it over to Callum Bokus. Briar Johnson intercepted that, and she'll just curl away as Worm forces her back. It's Stringer over the red line, and she shovels that deep as Hollier will chase in on Dixon. Lightning
a little bit unlucky there not to be on a power play. It did look like it might have been a trip.
Cameron will pick it up in her own zone, just stop up, head up, chipping it over to the half wall. It is on the stick now of Gallagher, who will go D to D over to Stringer. She'll rim it over the other way, but Rapchuk will pick it up on the blue line and take a shot bouncing off the leg of Stringer and picked up here by Cameron. Cameron chipped it up looking for Cashin. It was stolen there by Dixon, and now Mahoney tried to pick up some speed but just left the puck behind her. Stringer tied up Fisher. It's picked up by Mahoney, who walks out in front, and a good stick there by Nelson knocked it off the speedy Lightning player. Ooh, nice pickup here by Nelson. She's one-on-one on the captain. She'll take it wide. Behind the net, Cameron comes into the front of the net. Pushed there in the corner by Dixon. It's left there and picked up again by Nelson. Ryland's calling for it. Nelson, watched by the Lightning player. All she can do is shovel that into the far side corner.
I think
Costa.
Ryland very lucky she didn't receive that pass. There were two Lightning players, including Courtney Mahoney, waiting to pick it off. That would have been a goal the other way.
Crompton chipped that up there for Fisher, who will take it with 3 wide. Nice drop pass for Crompton. Stolen by Willison Allen, but couldn't get it out of the zone. Costa just back checking there to the safety of her own blue line. Wasn't able to keep that in, and that pass just ahead was Nelson, and we'll have an offside face-off right in front of the Ducks bench. Nelson
was possibly looking to get a change. The bench there for the Ducks just spans the blue line, as it does for most drinks. But as a result, that little offside. Ducks just having a little bit of a chat about what to do now as the score 6 from 18 for the Lightning. The Ducks 1 from 14. So the actual shot count not so bad.
Yeah, but great
14 shots on the net. But Arthur's doing a great job in the net.
Great leadership there by Lucy Parent, and just to say what the plan is as the Ducks want to play some good hockey here to end off the season. It's chipped deep, and Mossman will be first to it for the Lightning. The forecheck in by Morgan, though, just forces her to come back the way she came. She chips it off the wall. Rama wasn't able to keep it in, and she'll go D to D with Grakovic, who had that stolen there and able to pick up the errant puck as Clinic was looking to add to the hat trick party tonight. Grakovic spinning away from Clinic. Nice little move. Dipsy Doodle finds a bit of space and goes cross ice looking for the captain. LaPlante goes D to D to Mossman for the Lightning. Gets it up there to Fitzgerald. Had it stolen by Parrington.
Well, Fitzgerald was surrounded by a wall of black jerseys there. There wasn't an awful lot of room that she had.
There's Clinic dropping it there for Fitzgerald. Over to Rapchuk, who centers that and just had her stick lifted momentarily. Fitzgerald, as she was looking for a tap in. The Lightning go D to D at the point. Rapchuk goes deep there for Woolrich, who'll walk off the corner and just look to chip it back there for Rapchuk. Puck sent deep for Clinic, who's watched there by Grakovic. She just missed that, and it is centered and chipped back. So the Lightning keep it in. Good pressure. Rapchuk with a shot. It bounces in the high slot. Clinic comes in and just not able to get a shot on. Woolrich gets it back to the point. Winding, shooting is Rapchuk. Puck's loose in the slot, and it's steered aside there by Johnson, but not able to get it out. So lots of sustained pressure here for the Lightning. Rapchuk at the high slot, shot deflected. Puck's loose. Down is Gargano. And finally with a save with her captain there over her, giving her stick taps as the Ducks escape some ferocious pressure by the Brisbane Lightning.
They've been stuck out there for a long time. The Ducks' defence getting pretty tired. But, that bit of freezing of the puck there by Gargano buys them a chance to get some fresh legs out, which they desperately needed. Great sustained pressure. The Lightning have been out for a long time in that one play as well. Rapchuk getting a number of shots in. One that looked like it was through a pretty decent sort of a screen, but unfortunately the screen for her also stopped the puck.
So 6 goals here to the Lightning. 15 minutes into the second period. It's on the stick of Cameron, and it does squirt out into the neutral zone, so the Lightning forced to tag up, and all they can do is chip that deep. Puck sent across. It's Cashin over the red line. Chips it forward to Hollier. She's had some speed today. She'll take it behind the net. Doesn't have an option, so she'll look to shoot, and that deflects off a stick and goes wide.
Oh, he was looking there for an option in the slot, but all the Ducks forwards tied up nicely by the Lightning defence, doing a good job of marking and owning that space.
Costa, the captain, now chips it forward for Colin Bacchus, who takes it over the red line here for the Lightning. She walks in, winds, takes a shot, deflects off the leg there of Stringer. It's behind the net. Gallagher being chased and hunted here by Worm, and able just to keep it away, although finally has it lost. And here comes Mahoney off the bench, takes a shot, save Gargano, and Stringer able to send that over to the wall.
Mahoney with a lovely opportunity there. Fresh leg straight off the bench, straight through with speed.
Ducks able to get it into the neutral zone, but only as far as Crompton, who chips it up over to Mahoney. It's a 3-on-1. Mahoney in, winds, shoots, and knocks off the stick of Stringer and deflects over to the near side wall. Nelson ties up Fisher, able to chip it forward to Mahoney, though, and she just shields the puck, gets it to Fisher, who sends it back to the point. Mahoney steals that off Stringer, takes it behind the net. Fisher now has it in the corner. Ryland ties her up. She cycles that behind the net. Picked up there by Crompton, who'll just try to evade Newman. Shovels it there for Goonan, who tried to get it deep, but it was intercepted by Nelson, who was looking to spring green, but Mossman read that and sends that deep and chases in her own dump, and hard knock into the wall, and we have an arm up, so there will be a penalty to the Ducks. With the extra skater, though, it's Mahoney now who takes it back. She'll just look to set up and get it over to Fitzgerald. Little sustained pressure. It's on the stick of Woolwich. 4 points so far tonight, and rips that one high and wide. And finally, Newman touches up, and the Brisbane Lightning will go to their second power play of the game. So far, 0 for 1.
So a lucky escape there too. Those are hits near the boards, so dangerous. You go head first or legs first into the boards. It's a great way to break a limb. So absolutely very appropriate penalty for a bit of reckless play there on the part of the Ducks. We'll wait to see who's being escorted over into the box. It looks like it might be... There's no one here in the box.
Yeah, it's a trip it, and it will be going to Heather Ryland, and we'll have a 5-on-4 power play and a face-off to the left of Gargano.
Again, very fortunate no one hurt in that occasion. Those when you clash into boards at high speed, that's the danger zone for sure. So glad no one's injured.
So with 1:49 seconds remaining in the second period, the Ducks will be hoping to kill off the rest of this time and go down no more than 5. It's on the stick of LaPlante, who sends that deep. Walking the line, there's Fitzgerald. She winds, takes a shot, a nice deflection there by Crompton, but that goes wide. LaPlante now in the corner. Fakes the pass. Now gets it over to Woolrich. Fitzgerald is open, but a nice pass back door and a good save there by Gargano. And the rebound out in front, and they score! The Brisbane Lightning add one on the power play late in the second, and that one will go to the assistant captain right in front of the net. Her hat trick goal, Lindsay Clinic.
And you've got to feel a little bit unfortunate, a bit of sympathy there for Gargano. It looked like the puck could go around the back and was going to loop, but instead Clinic just picked that one up and snuck up behind. By that stage, absolutely wrong-footed Gargano. Not much you could do about that one. So as you say, Gossie, 7-1 the lead with 1 minute and 18 seconds to play in the second, as we just wait for the Lightning to finish off a change. They bring back on to the Ice, Courtney Mahoney. We know Courtney Mahoney, she's played here before in our Pro League here at IceHQ. It's great to have her back.
So 7 goals to 1 here late in the second period, and all 7 goals going to that top line of Clinic, Fitzgerald, and Woolrick.
So we'll be looking to see the Lightning lines try and get a bit more depth. We've certainly seen it throughout the season where they've displayed good depth. We haven't seen it so much this evening. I can't help but think that Mahoney's going to get one at some point. She's been very effective.
Jurkovic tried to dump that deep, hit the back of Hollier, picks up the loose puck though here with 1 minute remaining here in the second period.
Hollier just lost sight of that one down in her feet. Jurkovic now with a chance.
Takes the shot on, and it bounces off the stick and nearly caught Arthur, but she's able to find that and cover up.
An awkward bounce there, though, as Bri Johnson just in the slot, making sure that she's not allowing herself to be physically overpowered. Something that the Ducks have occasionally been pretty good at, Gossie, is being a little bit more physical at times when they've needed to be. A lot of the other teams have pushed them around a fair bit. They've kind of let it happen. But one of the players who certainly won't let that happen is Bri Johnson. She's pretty stout.
Face off one back, but quick legs of Mahoney nearly stole that, and all that Gallagher can do is shovel that deep as her team was looking to tag up.
Just on 35 seconds now to play in the second. Here comes
here
Mahoney
comes
again.
The speedy Mahoney, and just lost that in her feet, and as a result took herself offside, as I think she saw all but green light to go.
Yeah, she's been outstanding this evening, Mahoney. We did see her a lot here in our Pro League here. We ran a Women's Pro League for a number of seasons, and hopefully we'll have her back again in the not too distant future. But Mahoney was present for a lot of that, and we've seen her here, and she's been a great player and a great representative of the sport.
Crompton and Nelson face off, and it's Mahoney who picks up that loose puck and just winds, shoots that in on Gargano, and she covers up right in front of the net as Fisher was looking for a rebound with 22 seconds remaining.
Not too much longer to go in this period, which if you're a Ducks fan, you'd have to think wasn't the best one that they've had. I think we've given away 4 in this period for the Ducks. Not a great period for them, but a fair amount of shots on the net.
Oh, a deflection there, and it goes into the corner. A seeing eye shot by Costa. It's behind the net now, and it's picked up there by Nelson, who springs the captain. It's 2-on-2. Parrington in on Crompton. Takes a shot, and that one goes wide. Green will pick it up. Center there, and a shot by Nelson just goes over the net as the Ducks come close to getting one late. But this period will end the score 7-1 in favor of the visiting Brisbane Lightning.
So goals are early on in the second to Fitzgerald, and then Wutherick got one. Yates got one back with a nice shot from the blue line. It's been credited as an assist to Wilson, Allen and Hollier. And then Clinic got one from Wutherick again, and then Crompton finished it off on the power play with 1 minute 18 seconds to go to take the lead out to 7 goals to 1 at the end of the second. We'll be back with you very shortly for the resumption of the game. Period 3 will be starting in around about 8 minutes.
It's a gift. And it's a thief. It heals. It teaches. And it can be on your side. It can even fly. We can try to get ahead of it, but it marches on. Time. It can be measured in eras and accomplishments and historical milestones. CCM measures time by its impact. We are the past. We are the future. CCM, we are hockey.
To truly focus in this game, you have to block everything else out and embrace the familiar. At CCM, the Ribcore Trigger 9 Pro is designed for a quick release because this game can change in an instant. CCM, feel more.
With the JetSpeed FT8 Pro skates, speed comes from the right balance of technology, comfort, and determination, and a personal drive to continually outdo yourself. We are untouchable. Our eFlex 7 goalie equipment is designed so you can be quick and reactive, because all it takes is a split second for their highlight to become yours.
Saved by Demko.
We are stealing the show.
The CCM FTW skate is made for athletes. It is specially built for women, by women, so while it's designed for all women's feet, it's also tailor-made for you. CCM, we are hockey.
Leaders may be born, but breaking records comes from the quickest release. The Ribcore Trigger 10 Pro provides effortless loading for a stealthy shot, perfect if you want to outdo yourself this year. We are goal scorers.
Did you know there are 218,952 female hockey players in the world? They all have their own strengths, their own ambitions, their own styles, and they all need their equipment to fit their way. No two are exactly alike. That's why CCM designs and develops equipment for each one of them. Because they all have their own feel for the game. CCM, feel more.
In minor midget, I switched to CCM, and ever since then, it was the best decision I made.
Welcome back to the IceHQ Ice Rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, for the resumption of the game, the clash between the Melbourne Ducks in the black, and the Brisbane Lightning in the white, where the score at the moment at the resumption of hostilities will be 7 goals from 29 shots to the Lightning, who, it has to be fair, had a very dominant second period. 1 goal from 15 for the Ducks. Save percentage at the moment for Arthur in the net is .993, so she's having an outstanding game. For Gargano in the net, 7.59, but it's not all her fault. There's been a lot of, you could say, fairly lax defence in front of the net there by the Ducks, letting a few chances go that certainly shouldn't have been the case. But that's what happens when you're under pressure all the time. You're going to make those sorts of mistakes and those lapses, and that's certainly what the Lightning have taken excellent advantage there of. Goals, a hat-trick to Anna-Marie Fitzgerald, 3 also to Lindsay Clinic, and 1 goal to Emma Wuthrick. So a great display there by those 3 players from the Lightning. Maybe looking to try and get a bit of depth happening as well. We're talking in the pre-game about how they've been a very deep team. We've certainly seen plenty of pressure from them, but not much in the way of goal scoring. In fact, none so far from the rest of the team. But they'd be looking to try and redress that through this third period if they can. And the Ducks, well, if they can get a goal or 2 early, anything can happen. Gossie.
Yeah. I mean, the Lightning have beat them, we said, in between the first and the second with speed, and that speed is relentless. They keep coming after the Ducks, and what we spoke about is if the Ducks are going to get anything out of the game, they got to get some shots from distance with some traffic in front of the net, and that's exactly what happened for Tara Yates, her first goal for the Melbourne Ducks, as she rang that one off iron, but it wasn't enough as the Lightning kept coming indeed. And the third period is going to need a little bit of magic for the team in black if they're going to hope for anything out of this.
The Lightning have been a little bit vulnerable occasionally. They have been making some cross-ice passes out of D, which are ripe for interception. But the Ducks haven't been able to capitalise on it yet and run away.
Face-off was won there, and it's Dixon now that has it for the Lightning in her own zone. She just rims it up off the wall. Rama has it in her own zone, just nearly fumbles that one, which is going to allow the forecheck really to start for the Lightning. And that's really the trouble that the Ducks have had in their own zone.
Just a little bit too casual with it at times, and certainly that's an example of it.
Krakovic behind the net. We do also have a goaltending change, so Coach Jeremy Moore electing to give Gargano the rest of the night off, and we'll see a period for Jade Davis-Tope. Lightning in their own zone, just tried to backhand pass that over to her D partner. Was Rapchuk, and a good forecheck in there, and it's going to come out into the slot now for Nelson, who does get a shot on. Down is Arthur, and the puck is under her pad as the Ducks were trying to shovel that one in, and that's the kind of effort that we like to see as a Melbourne Ducks fan.
So you see this one on the replay. The puck just bobbling around high slot, just a little bit slow there perhaps with the shot. Puck's still a little bit loose as they battle for it, but a good piece of goaltending there, work getting everything down in the way. Kayla Arthur doing a good job. There's a good chance there for the Ducks, though.
Yeah, good start here for the third period. The face-off, again, won by Parrington. I don't think she's lost one so far tonight. It goes behind the net. Mossman just misses that, but it's going to find her teammate, and now the Lightning are going to be out, and it did knock off the glove of a Lightning player there on the bench. Otherwise, an odd player rush down the other way.
It looked like it hit the boards as well as possibly a rush, as well as a Lightning player. It's the just leaning over the bench. You sit back, of course, that won't happen.
So we'll have a face-off just to the right of Arthur. Parrington, after the commentator's curse, looking to keep that record of her face-offs open, and she wins it back again, right back to Niamh Gallagher, who will just backhand that to no one, unfortunately, and it'll be intercepted by Mossman and now cleared out into the neutral zone. Willison Allen has it, just turns into a Lightning player, and it's Brown who shovels that one deep, and Parrington will be forced to pick it up behind her own net. She curls away from the forecheck of Worm, just waits, looking for the breakout.
No
Ducks
movement
players
at all by
all
the Ducks.
stationary. And Parrington just nice little backhand pass, found some space, and now got it over and will try to kick it up to her stick. So here comes Morgan through the neutral zone. Poke check stopped at the blue line. Tried to find Tran, but it was intercepted here by Woolrick. 4 points so far tonight. A shot on, and she scores!
Make that 5 points.
First shot of the third period, and Woolrick finds the back of the net. And the Lightning now have 8 on the Melbourne Ducks.
Certainly not the start that Davis Tope would have liked through that one, straight through the 5-hole. I'm not sure she even necessarily saw that coming. That one came from that early face-off win there by the Ducks. The D were in nice and were in a little bit too close, which meant when they did get the puck, they were kind of wrong-footed, which created a fair bit of momentum for the Lightning, which they just turned it around. And then some indecision, and it created a shot opportunity.
Well, we spoke about it pre-game, the importance of Woolrick to this team. She's only played 6 games and had 20 points in the game so far, and tonight her 7th adds another 6. So here comes Fitzgerald. Still this top line out on there. As it comes out to the slot, another shot and a save there, Davis Tope, as the Lightning came close again. It's 3 wide, a 3-on-2. It's on the stick of Nelson. She takes a shot. It floats in on Arthur, who covers up as Nelson was looking for her own rebound.
That second save there, the one by Davis Tope, desperately, one that she desperately needed. She would need some confidence after that first side of the puck went straight through her. That second chance, that second shot being a save, a confidence builder that she would need. I mean, you can see the Ducks have their pinched right in very, very close on this face-off. If the puck gets behind them, moving directly straight to them, there's not a lot of movement that they can get from there.
Collier wins it back over there to Cashin. Pinned on the wall, though, and it's Mahoney who gets it out, and it's a 2-on-1. Mahoney, wide on Gakovic. Takes a shot, save Davis Tope, and she pulls that one in and covers up as Mahoney was looking for the rebound.
If you just scroll that one back on YouTube, if you're watching this remotely, you won't see it on the highlight here, but it comes from the Ducks' defence, pinching right in very, very close to that face-off dot. If you're not very, very switched on when you do that, you get great odd player rushes, and that's where goals are easily scored from. Roughly 20% of odd player rushes result in goals. You just don't want to do that.
Gakovic battles with Mahoney. It's going to come up here for Cashin. She backhands that into the skates of Crumpton, who was able to get it forward, but it's the Ducks import now with a nice move and brings that into the neutral zone with speed. Gakovic drops it there for Hollier. Crumpton pushes her off the puck, and it's not going to exit the zone as Gakovic keeps it in on the blue line, but finally chipped forward there by Fisher, and here come the Lightning through Crompton. Pass in front, shot, save Davis Tope with the blocking arm. It's loose in front as Davis Tope makes 2 big saves here in the third period. Fisher
keeping the Ducks in. That was a 3-on-1 for the Lightning there.
Dixon with a shot on, and it stops there as it hit Stringer in front, and Davis Tope covers up.
So the Lightning in this third so far have certainly been creating a lot of rushes. The Ducks caught up high on a number of occasions. That time Grakovic had gone for a bit of a skate and got herself caught in deep. No one coming back to cover. So in the end it was just the one Ducks defence against 3 rushing white jerseys. It's pretty hard in that circumstance.
So face-off won by the Lightning. It squirts out. LaPlante winds, takes a shot right off the pad there of Davis Tope. Parrington curls it away there from the forecheck. It chips out and she'll pick it up. She'll send it up looking for Tran, who takes that into the offensive zone. Winds, just knocked down. Parrington hurdles her. And Morgan battles in with the Lightning player. And as Parrington touches up, Morgan is going to be going to the penalty box for 2 or less as the Lightning head back to the power play, scoring on their previous opportunity.
And that little leap there of Parrington over the top of Tran, it looked like her skate had gone just across the side of her head as well. So just one of the reasons why we're all wearing neck guards these days in this game is those skate blades, not blunt. They can cause a pretty nasty injury or worse. So
the Lightning go out with their second power play unit. It's Mahoney, Fisher, and Brown. This unit has been good on the ice so far, but all 8 goals have gone to that top unit of Woolrich, Fitzgerald, and Clinic. It's Green who has it. She rims it across. Mahoney will keep it in on the wall, just leaves it actually there for Costa, who will go D to D. Rapchuk with a shot. It's blocked in front and cleared to the point and not out. Nelson, though, will get to it and send that down the length of the ice. She'll look to get there first. Costa just chips it away from her, but Rapchuk wasn't able to get there, and Nelson will just pin it up on the wall and try to kill some valuable seconds here on the power play. Mahoney with speed through the neutral zone, watched by Green. Crosses the line, but just offside as Fitzgerald went in a little too early.
Fitzgerald not quite sure that was the case, but the referee with a very good sight line right in front of where we stand here as well. And no mistake there made by the linesman. That was most definitely offside. 1 minute and 9 seconds to go on the Morgan penalty. 15.5 minutes to go in the third and final.
So Fitzgerald out here, Woolrich on the point, gets it over there to LaPlante. She'll take it over the blue line, into the corner. Has it behind the net, just trips up, and that allowed Grakovic to pick it up and send that down the length of the ice.
Nice clearance by the Grakovic. Gives the Ducks a chance for a change if they want it, but they don't take it.
First back is Woolrich, who just left that, and that's going to allow the Ducks to pin it up and just shovel it back behind the net. It'll be picked up by Clinic, hat-trick hero so far here tonight. Chipped it up there for LaPlante, who's got some space. She'll cross the blue line, just drop it away from Johnson, who ties her up. It's picked up by Fitzgerald, who'll take it behind the net. She and Clinic swap spots. She directs Woolrich, who will pick that up the puck now and walk off the line, wind, shoot, and score! What a rocket by Woolrich as she gets her hat-trick goal. And this line have 3 hat-tricks, 9 goals, and the Brisbane Lightning are scoring at will.
And Davis Tope, they're looking a bit stunned by that one. It was still a pretty good screen. The Ducks defence were just backing off and giving Woolrich all that room. And I don't think that Davis Tope saw that one coming at all. It went over a blocker straight into the top corner of the net. A lovely goal.
And it was an absolute rocket. You can see this on the CCM All-Out replay, in and out before you can say quack.
Yeah, you can also see the screen there. The Ducks defence just caught up in the way of it as well.
So that's Woolrich's 6th point of the game. And the Brisbane Lightning's 2nd power play goal as they improve to 2 for 3 here at IceHQ.
Puck fired across the hit linesman in the leg. Goes in deep now while the Lightning look to a reset and break it out again. Well, a lot of what we're seeing for the Lightning is that rapid movement.
Yeah, and it comes out there for Newman for the Ducks. She'll send it back to Gallagher on the point. He'll take a shot. It deflects off a stick and tried to bat it out of the air. It was Green, but that one went wide.
An awkward bounce there too. Sometimes goalies can get caught out by those ones, but not on the occasion. Arthur has been superb.
Nice back check there by Nelson. We'll just look to keep it away from Brown. She'll elect to try to outspeed the Lightning and shoots that one in. A good blocking arm save there by Arthur. Nelson picks up the loose puck though and walks out of the corner. Drops it back there for Yates and just offside. So the Ducks forced to retreat and allow the Lightning now to come into the offensive zone. Mahoney couldn't get that past Ryland, who poked it over to the side. Mahoney picks up the loose puck and drops it over for Dixon. She'll go down into the corner. Centering pass there, intercepted by Green, but not cleared out of the zone. Rapchuk thought about pinching, but instead allowed Parrington to pick that up, and she retreated back to the blue line.
Parrington looking for movement, trying to find a passing option. She's got Morgan circling around, but stuck down a little bit too deep, possibly.
Puck here, cleared by Yates, who got it over to Tran. There's a...
They're at net guard on the ice.
Dixon battles with Tran. Tran pins her up on the wall. Parrington comes in for support. So does Mahoney. Parrington doing well just to keep it away from the Lightning. Now wins that battle out and pinned up there by Crompton. Dixon chips it up to Mahoney. Good pinch there by Grakovic. Couldn't get it deep though as she faced 3 Lightning players and finally able to get it into the corner, but Rapchuk's there to pick it up there for the team in white.
Lightning now breaking it out with speed and movement again.
Pass up, just chipped forward by Fisher. Rama will get there first, but good forecheck, forcing her behind the net. Rimmed it up onto the wall for Cameron. Tran finds the captain, Parrington, but that's knocked off her stick. The Lightning will now come back into the offensive zone. Mahoney walking the line, comes out into the slot. Found a Duck jersey. Fitzgerald now shoots and scores! That's number 10 and the 4th goal of the game for Fitzgerald. And the Ducks now will just hope for this clock to keep ticking down.
Well, they've got to play now to try and look at just trying to win every individual shift. If you've ever been in a situation like this before, and every hockey player has been in a game where your scoreboard is not doing you any favours, you go out every shift and you just try and win every shift. You forget about the score. You just focus on your job, trying to get it as well as you can, do it as well as possible, and win every shift. And that's all they can do now to reset for tomorrow.
Another shot deflects high into the netting. And I mean, we've now seen all teams make their way over to IceHQ, and you know, this Brisbane Lightning team, they've been getting better and better as the season goes, and there's not many that can match their speed. They're tuning up at the right time as we head towards finals in a few weeks.
Well, third on the ladder at the moment, but only by a point behind the Melbourne Ice. But, I haven't seen the results of the earlier game.
Another
today,
shot, and it goes back, and Davis Tope not able to cover that one, and it does go back into the net, and it looks like that one will go to Clinic as she also scores her 4th goal of the game, joining Fitzgerald in that regard.
So 9 goals now, the lead, with 11 minutes and 49 seconds to go. Again, the Ducks, at this point in time, they've just got to focus on trying to get a bit of composure.
Yeah, the Ducks just taking a timeout.
So Gossie, I mean, we've all been in this situation before as players, and I can tell you it sucks. It's never fun. Of course, it's great for the Lightning looking at their percentage, but for them too, it's probably looking for a bit of a better hit out. Not that it's been all that bad, but Ducks have had these lapses throughout the season where they've just dropped the bundle a little bit in the third, and the other teams have swamped them, and this period not a good one for them by any stretch of the imagination. A power play goal by Withrich was a beauty, with the Ducks just backing off and away and giving her too much room, and then getting that shot past Davis Tope's blocker, where I'm fairly sure she was pretty well screened. But all the same, she'd be pretty disappointed with that one. Pretty hard outing for her to come straight in and then get lit up immediately. So a tough period for them. But that's what they've got to do, Gossie. They've got to just reset. I think they're just having a chat now from the coaches. Jeremy having a bit of a chat to them, saying, come on, we've got to just work on our plays and see what we can reset so we can come back tomorrow and see if we can give the Lightning a bit more of a go. They certainly did that last week up in Arena when they played Sydney. In Game 1, they went down quite badly, but in Game 2, it was a much, much closer contest where they went down 3-2, and it was a 2-2 at the end of the second. So good game, and they can certainly show that they can reset. And when they're switched on, they can certainly match it. But at the moment, the sting's gone out of their tail, and they've just kind of dropped. And you can just see the intensity is missing from most of them. They've got to pick that up and find a way to reset it.
I think one thing to think about, I mean, I know it's 11 goals against, but all 11 goals go into the one line. So figuring out how to stop Withrich, Fitzgerald, and Clinic is going to be the #1 priority there for the coaching staff as they look to come back tomorrow. LaPlante goes back over to Mossman, who takes a shot, deflected wide. Withrich will pick it up in the corner. Watch there for the Ducks, walks out, nice little move. Withrich shot, scores.
I think if there's a symptom of this third period, that goal is exactly it. Just sauntering through the slot with way too much time and space and tucking the puck away. So I think you're right at this point in time. The Ducks are just watching the clock, hoping that it would finish. But it's not going to. They've got to battle it out for another 11 and a half minutes. And this is a bit of a test of character of every player on the team. And this is where you find out who are your real workers and who are the people who are really committed. The ones who can keep battling even when you're down by a lot, they're the ones you really want to look for in the future.
Quite the stat line now for that top line. 4 goals each in a 12-1 game as we approach the midway mark of the third period. Yates, who scored her first goal in her AWIHL career, she chips that forward over to the captain, Parrington. Good back check, though, by Mossman. Just stole it off the stick of the Duck, and the puck sent in deep as Morgan will chase in on LaPlante.
So if ever there's been a player who just doesn't know how to give up and back down, that's got to be Lucy Parrington. She's been outstanding for the Ducks in a leadership role since this team started 3 seasons ago.
Plant with a hard shot in. It's Callum Bokus now who will get that. It's chipped forward. Parrington gets it back to Tran, who rims it up the wall just out of the reach of Morgan. Off the bench is Dixon, and Parrington showing that tenacity. Steals it off the Lightning defender, but just finds the skates of the referee there, and the Ducks just, all they can do is chip it forward.
And Morgan, too, using everything she can. She's relishing this opportunity to play at this level.
Here's Mahoney with a shot into the pads there of Davis Tope, and she covers up as Crompton was there on the doorstep looking for a rebound.
Again, for a lot of the Ducks players now, this is an opportunity for them just to really work on trying to adapt again to this intensity. And one of those players this is only a fifth game for the Ducks at this level, is Colette Morgan. And she's come from Ringetta originally.
So puck on the point, kept in there by Dixon, who shovels it deep. Fisher will chase in on Grkovic. Nice move there by Grkovic to keep it away from the forecheck of the Lightning, and the puck is cleared out into the neutral zone. Rapchuk just watched by Newman. Good skating there, and finds a nice pass to find Fisher. Curls on the wall, gets it over there, and a shot by Mahoney rings off the iron. And she was looking to join the scoring party.
And Mahoney so far has been outstanding throughout this game for the Lightning on that second line. Denied so many times, but you'd have to say more bad luck than anything else.
Here's Grakovic down the other way. Nice move around Withrich. Wines takes a shot, blocking arm save by Arthur, and here comes Woolrich the other way. 4 goals, 6 points so far tonight. Withrich curls, takes it behind the net, looks for the wraparound, and that went off the side of the net and found the Ducks import. Grakovic, who winds, takes a shot from center ice and goes for a change.
Grakovic had been out for a long time too. She's done a lot of ice time throughout this game. She's well over 30 minutes.
Nice move by Fitzgerald through the neutral zone with speed. Takes it wide. She's got Withrich in front of the net. Takes it behind the net, gets it back to the point for Goonan. Head up, finding Fitzgerald. Chips it over to the captain. Costa knocked that into the skates of Nelson, who chips it forward in a foot race now between Johnson and Goonan wins that one. Withrich picks it up on the red line, chips it forward to Clinic. 4 goals so far tonight. Nice move to evade one stick, but a good back check by Nelson knocked that away. Clinic behind the net now. Curls, she's got Goonan on the point, but she's pinned up by the Ducks, and they do clear it into the neutral zone and off the stick of Goonan as Costa now will go into her own zone to pick it up for the Lightning.
Going in there to put some pressure on Kelly Nelson, who has been good, effective for the Ducks on occasion.
Oh, a bad pass there, and Johnny on the spot. Britt Green had a wide open chance, and Arthur able to get the pads down and make the save there as the Ducks nearly capitalized on a bad bounce there for the Brisbane Lightning.
So the Lightning have certainly shown on a number of occasions that they are vulnerable to a little bit of forechecking pressure, and they have made some of those questionable cross-ice passes out of D, which result in those intercepts. The Ducks haven't been able to take advantage of it. The Lightning will want to sort that out, because I'll tell you one team that will take advantage of it is the Melbourne Ice.
So the puck's in the corner. It's chipped up to the half wall. Worm gets it over there to Brown, but it wasn't able to get an offensive zone. Brown, though, will pick it up now and runs into Ryland. The puck bounces high in front of the bench, and the Ducks get it out into the neutral zone. Ryland runs into Mossman, and the puck shot down the length of the ice. Yates behind her net, chipped it over, looking for Morgan. It just missed her. The Ducks now pinned up there right in front of the wall. Squirts out there for Yates, who just sends it right back into the pile. Comes out for the Lightning, and Yates now will look maybe to try the other direction. Parrington stops up, curls away from Worm. Little pass off the wall, runs into Collette, and this is going to be a penalty going to Mossman. So the Ducks will go to their second power play of the game. They looked good for the first minute, but then did have the shorthanded goal against. So they'll be looking just to build some momentum and add another goal to their tally here with 7 minutes and 16 seconds remaining.
That curse of the Ducks power play, where it could go one of two ways. Something interesting is going to happen for sure. Can they turn this one into a goal? Well, loading time will tell on that one. 12 goals to the Lightning from 39 shots, 1 from 21 to the Ducks. So 21 shots is a lot for Kayla Arthur to have kept out. She's been excellent. A very, very good night. Her save percentage .95 throughout this game.
So face-off won by the Lightning, but a good forecheck there by Nelson will get it back to the point. Grakovic goes over there to Rama. Rama looking to get it back to Grakovic, who walks the line and sends it now down deep for Nelson. Nelson back to Grakovic, who doesn't have a shooting lane, gets it over to Rama, who goes across to Nelson. Nice passing play, and that deflected off the stick of Rapchuk and into the corner.
Can't help but think that was a great opportunity for a shot there by Rama. She was just a bit hesitant. She had time.
Here's Nelson right at the top of the umbrella. Wines, takes a shot, deflects wide. Grakovic will get there first for the Ducks. She'll take it into the corner, watched by the Lightning. Still with it, Grakovic. She swaps places with Rama. Leaves it there now for Nelson, who has it on the point. She winds, takes a shot, traffic in front, rebound there, it's high, and batted in with the glove there of Green, and immediately waved off by the official as that puck went in illegally.
So a close one there for the Ducks. Again, there's just a few of them. You can see a number of the players just kind of hesitating and waiting for Grakovic to do it all. And on that occasion, at least, they got a shot from someone else, and it was Nelson who fired that cannon.
Yeah, so
Ducks just a little bit overly reliant on Grakovic there at times.
That's face-off outside. I think that's just a reaction by Green, smiling, apologizing. But good pressure so far on the power play here for the Ducks, and they'll get that puck deep. First to it will be LaPlante with Green chasing her. LaPlante tries to get it out, and it does come out into the neutral zone, and Grakovic just forced back and nearly runs into the linesman. Grakovic over to Rama, gets it back. She's got Nelson. Alexa sent it to Parrington, and that just bounced off her stick as that was a great seeing eye pass by the international import, Jelena Grakovic, looking for her captain.
It was a good chance, just not quite able to get enough on it there. It was there's the captain there of the Ducks. I'll get that name in just a second. It was Parrington, of course. Yeah, I'm sorry, how could I forget that one? And she was well positioned. But also equally so was Kayla Arthur, who it ended up just trickling onto her, and she could just deal with that quite nicely. Just on 45 seconds to go on the Mossman penalty.
Face-off won by the Lightning. It's down there for LaPlante. She's pinned up there by Nelson. 3 Ducks in there looking to separate the puck. 35 seconds remaining in the penalty. It's cleared down the length of the ice, and the chase is on. Look at that skating by Fisher, up by 10, up by 11, and still showing that extra effort. Rama skates it out, chips it to Nelson, bounces off her stick, able to pick up the poke check though, and it's now Green who forces it back, and Fisher comes in shorthanded. Good stick though by Hollier, keeps it away from Fisher. Head up, looking for a pass. Elects to skate it through, and that'll be the end of the power play. So the Ducks go 0 for 2. Here with just over 5 minutes remaining in the third period. It's pinned up in the corner. That's Hollier. It's Crompton who chips that over for Fitzgerald, who now finds Mahoney in. Tried to find Crompton. Wilson Allen takes a dump there, and Gallagher able just to chip it over for Fitzgerald.
So Mahoney very unselfish there with that play. I can't help but think that she should back herself and take a couple of shots. They've got a pretty decent lead, the Lightning, and it'd be really nice to see her work effort be rewarded with a point. But we'll have a face-off instead.
Shots now 39-25 in favor of the Lightning, up 12-1 here in the third period. It's Rapchuk over to Dixon. Shot there, goes wide. Fitzgerald tries to stuff it short off the pad there of Davis Tope and into the back of the net. And that will give Fitzgerald her 5th goal of the game. One more than her other line mates, who each have 4.
So 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go on what you have to say is a very good percentage boosting game for the Brisbane Lightning, 13 goals.
I mean, if you're looking at this right now as a Brisbane Lightning team, you're thinking, well, do we try to get Anne-Marie Fitzgerald the double hat trick? But Withrich comes in, she's on for it, she takes a shot and scores. So anything you can do, I can do better. Withrich now gets her 5th goal of the game and ties her teammate Fitzgerald in that regard as the game leader.
Our apologies, Ducks fans, we're doing our best. But it's a pretty tough game at the moment for those of you who are cheering on the Ducks. But again, there's lots they can learn from this. Lots of lessons that they need to learn.
Puck sent right in on Arthur. She just shovels that over there for her teammate to look to clear. It's intercepted here by Cameron in the neutral zone, but mishandles that, and that's going to allow Clinic to start the forecheck. Cameron took a tumble. Clinic looked to center it. She's knocked down by Cameron. No penalty on the play. Withrich, nice pass over to Rabchuk, who winds, takes a shot, and just missed that, and there was daylight over the glove of Davis Tope.
Davis Tope might have got something onto that, or it was deflected possibly there by Tara Yates.
Withrich, pass over to Clinic, takes a shot, that missed the net. Fisher had it behind. It's Yates now tied up with Clinic. In comes Green to help, so does Fisher. It's shoveled out to an errant wing. Ryland will pick that up and just shovel it back to the point. So a bouncer high. Fisher now in the corner. 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on the third. It's back to Dixon, who takes a shot, deflected. It's there in the slot momentarily, and cleared out by Green. Dixon over to Clinic. She's got Worm with her. Just missed that pass, and that should allow Yates to get it up to Green and exit the zone.
Good defensive back pressuring pressure there by Worm. Worm's been terrific for the Inferno, owning that neutral zone and just denying a lot of the opportunities through there and creating a lot of counter-attacking chances too for the Lightning. Worm, no points for her, but a great game.
Kukovic just pushed off that, and she goes in not happy with a play there. She loses her stick. Once it picks it up, it's kept in by Goonan, who chips it forward, looking for Worm. It bounces off the skate of Rama. Kept in by Goonan, who takes a shot, deflected off a stick, now bounce in the corner for Rama to go chase.
Nicely try and pinch the two by Goonan. She had Parrington coming at her at a fair bit of speed, but just timed it nicely.
Morgan watched there by Brown. It's on the stick of Kukovic now. She's got a bit of space, and you know if she has space, she'll take it. Skates through the neutral zone, over the blue line, runs into 4 Lightning players. Parrington gloves it down, takes a shot, and that deflects wide. Tran now cycles it behind the net. No Ducks there, though, as they go for a change, and this will allow the Lightning with an easy out, although that errant pass goes all the way down, and we'll have a face-off in the Lightning defensive zone with just over 2 minutes remaining in the third. A 14-1 game here at IceHQ.
One more chance now for the Ducks to try and reset. The Parrington's been great on the face-off. She's not taking this one, though. This is Johnson who'll be taking it. But you can see how closely the Ducks' defence are pinching right in. It's a lot of confidence. But if the puck does get behind them, then you get lots of breakaways on those things. They've got to be mindful that it's very easy to skate forwards, much harder to turn around and skate back.
Gallagher has the puck now on her own blue line for the Ducks, crosses the red line and will skate it in. She just dropped it, looking for Johnson. Worm, though, ties her up, and Gallagher back to the point. Stringer shovels it deep. Battle there with Johnson. Looks to center it, and it missed everyone, but Gallagher will be able to keep it in on the point. Picked up by the captain, Costa, who clears it the other way. With just 1 minute and 33 seconds remaining, it's important to say as well, this is the highest scoring game so far this season in the AWIHL season. 14 goals for the Lightning, and 3 off the league record of 17.
So a good day for the Lightning for sure. As we're just coming up to just over a minute now to play in this third and final.
It's on the stick of Fitzgerald. She's on 5 goals so far tonight, trying to get the double hat trick. It's
just a smidge offside there was Kelly Costa. Just a smidge over the line. She doesn't look very happy about it, but it was certainly the case. We've got a good sight line here, and the referee's made no mistake on that occasion. 1 minute and 3 seconds to play in the third and final, one that the Ducks will be pretty keen to see the end of. But again, every time you get every chance you get, you want to be on the ice and playing and learning and improving. That's what they need.
Over the blue line, drops it for Withrich. She's got 5 goals, 3 assists. Back to Mossman. It chips out into the slot area, down Davis Tope as she covers up. 8 points for Withrich has to be the most we've seen by a player here on this rink.
Certainly would be. I haven't seen any more than that I can remember. Mind you, I'm getting older. My memory's not that great anymore. Face off this time won by the Lightning there.
It's Withrich, kicks it just out of the reach of herself, as you know, she's also looking for the double hat trick. It's squirts out into Davis Tope, and she covers up with 36 seconds remaining here in the third period.
Both teams electing to keep the same lines on. This time they line up on the opposite side of the face-off of the goal.
Clinic's going to just be waved on that one. And it's on the stick of Ryland, watched by Withrich. It'll come up over there for Willis and Allen. Withrich, though, will pick it up, get it back to the point for LaPlante, who takes a shot, knocks off the leg of Nelson into the corner, and Yates able to get it up to Green, who can't clear the zone. Withrich now, nice little loose puck move there, takes a shot, deflects off a stick, goes wide. Brown will have it behind the net, get it over to Clinic. Nelson uses her body to knock Clinic off the puck. It's a 2-on-2 now the other way, and Nelson takes the shot, she scores! Nelson from the neutral zone with 6.4 seconds remaining in the third, and the Ducks get one back, and you can hear what that means to the crowd.
We've had a pretty good turnout here of Ducks fans at IceHQ. One of the Lightning, though, looks like she might have worn something. We're not exactly 100% sure. A bit of attention from her teammates just in front of their gate. We didn't see the exact incident of what occurred there.
If there's anything to talk about for this season for the Ducks, that's their second goal from the neutral zone so far this season. Earlier against the Melbourne Ice, it was Grkovic with a slap shot from a similar spot.
You've got to get your shots where you can and where you get the space. And in that particular occasion, she knew she didn't have much time, Kelly Nelson. So she's fired the cannon. Will looks like no long-term issues with that Lightning player who was just helped off the ice. With 6.4 seconds to go, the final face-off of the game almost for sure. Nelson wins it.
Gets over to Green, and they were directing traffic there, trying to get one last chance, but it'll get sent down the length of the ice. And a bit of a consolation goal to end the game by Kelly Nelson, but a 14-2 winners, the Brisbane Lightning, as they come into Melbourne and strike first.
So they wanted the points. It does great things for their standings in the AWIHL at the moment, so that certainly helps them out. But goals to Clinic in the first, and then Fitzgerald got 2. With one of them being a shorty. And then in the second, Fitzgerald got another 1, Clinic got 2, and Withrich got 1, and Tara Yates got 1 back from the Ducks, though. The short-handed goal, was in the second to Fitzgerald. In the third, it was all Lightning. Withrich, Fitzgerald, Clinic, Withrich, Fitzgerald, Withrich. But finally, with 6 seconds to go, Kelly Nelson fired a speculator from just outside the neutral zone, just outside the attacking zone. And they managed to get 1 past Kayla. So 2 goals to 14. The score 2 from 27, 14 from 42. So a great game there for Kayla Arthur, who certainly did her stats a lot of good. And the Ducks with a lot to learn. Didn't look too bad through the first period, but a lot of things that they need to certainly tidy up. They've got to make sure they get better control of the neutrals, better control of the area in front of the net. And there's a few little technical things that they can sort out, and I'm sure they can watch the video of those goals overnight and say, okay, how did that happen? How can we prevent that from happening again? But for the Lightning, a superb display by that top line. We've got game 2 of this series coming around tomorrow at 4:15 Eastern Standard Summertime. For those of you in Brisbane who don't have daylight saving, it'll be out by an hour. But we will be back at that time to bring you the second round of this clash between these two teams. And the Ducks can provide us a bit more opposition for the Lightning, and we'll see you tomorrow.